What's up, podcast listeners? Cam Martinez here with an incredible interview to start our first season of the Six Figure Roadmap. Today, we are joined by none other than Timothy D. Craggette. Tim is a serial entrepreneur with over 10 plus years as an educator and coach for small business entrepreneurship and marketing. He has trained business owners within the Washington, D.C. metro area, as well as globally through his online coaching and the Swift Kick Show on WERA 96.7 FM, DC's #1 online small business radio show. As a member of the National Business Educators Association, he has spoken at the University of Maryland, the National Institutes of Health, the Food and Drug Administration, and on stages nationally on the topics of business and health. As a member of Entrepreneurship Advisory Board for the Yelena Leadership Academy, he serves as an advisor for entrepreneurship curriculum and a mentor to teenagers in underserved communities. He is also a 6-time award-winning and best-selling product creator and executive producer / engineer with over 9 figures in sales. And if you stick around until the end of this interview, Tim has an awesome gift for you where he will provide media outreach templates based on actual email requests from his radio show. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Timothy D. Craggette. How are you, sir?
I am good. Thank you for the intro. Thank you for having me. I'm stoked to be a part of this, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. What an amazing intro. So many accolades, so many things that you've done in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And from the small amount of time that we've been connected, I've come to learn that you are a man all about making an impact.
Yep.
What do you think has been your single greatest method of impact so far in your life?
Geez. When we started the radio show back in November 2016, I had no expectations of what we were going to do, how we were going to reach people, anything like that outside of what we were going to do in the DC metro area. But once we started going global and we started getting messages from people in different countries that was listening through the podcast directories, that's when I felt like we were doing something way beyond us, when we started to reach beyond borders and have people listen on all the great entrepreneurs that we've had on the show, talking about what they do, how they serve. That for me has been probably the most impactful thing we've done to date. Having, people will never reach, hear our voices, and be able to start making an impact in their own lives.
Oh, it's amazing. It's something we also strive to do in our business on this podcast is reach those people because we believe that truly delivering powerful education is single-handedly one of the most powerful things that you can do, especially in the world of entrepreneurship. So I condone that for sure. And I appreciate all the things that you've done in your career.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's been some amazing stuff. So right out of the gate for our listeners, what are 3 key items to focus on when trying to bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be financially in their business?
Great question. I would say 3, but it's really down to 1. And the one for me is media. And I hate to kind of, toot my own horn on the thing that I love the most, but it's true. It's one of the things that we don't see many people taking it serious because they feel like they could just buy their attention. But the truth be told, credibility, authority, platform, and profitability comes from this whole thing of building out trust factors, social proof. But there's nothing that's been around as long as media. If you look back in time, outside of, cave paintings and things like that, when it came to mass communication, it started with the radio. When the radio started to broadcast into people's homes, that's when we were able to shrink the world and make a neighbor, which could have been miles away, right next door. And then the advent of television. We were already talking about newsprint, so there's no mention in that. But those were the forming factors of causing massive impact. And I believe that we're in the best phase of this right now with the advent of podcasters, YouTubers, citizen journalists, contributors. Media has never been more trusted in the world than it is now, even though it's still more scrutinized. I think really, forget all the other things. It's about getting your message out there and using any and all media outlets to propel way beyond your own reach. I'm sorry I couldn't do three, but
No,
I just feel like it's just really just one.
no, I love it, and really speaks to what you do every single day. And I can attest to how powerful media has been in my own life in the short amount of time that I've been in the world of entrepreneurship, in the world of business, just like podcasts being one of those outlets, blogs, articles. What I found is that, not in an egotistical way or a selfish way, but entrepreneurs love to talk about all the amazing things that they're doing in their life,
Absolutely.
all the impact they're making in their life. And if you're offering a platform for them to share that message, it's one of the easiest ways to make a connection with a person. That's how you and I got connected.
Exactly.
In the first conversation, we were like, hey, let's swap podcasts.
Yeah.
And so, no, I totally agree. It's amazing. So stemming off of that conversation,
Yeah.
a question I have for you, for the majority of our audience, when is it an ideal time, and it may be right away, to implement a media strategy in your business?
Great question. I would say day zero, to be honest. One of the things that we producers look at is something called the ladder, and a lot of people don't talk about the ladder. So what the ladder is, there's levels to everything, and not everyone can hit Forbes Entrepreneur Inc. day zero. But day zero, there's many a smaller, more niche outlets that anyone can attach themselves to and use that as a foundation to build themselves into the bigger outlets. Local media is always overlooked, and it's overlooked because people don't give it the credit it deserves. When you think about local print, local radio, local television, those are trusted sources, and they're long-standing. Of course, they have the call letters, so you're instantly inheriting trust. So when you're approaching all the bigger outlets and they can see that you have a track record, it's just like being a speaker on stage. They want to know that you have the chops. And there's no better way to just kind of sink in day zero than tapping into your local area. Like, no one is as much of an expert as you are for what you do in your area. And that automatically puts you leaps and bounds above anyone else that can remotely compete with your message. So they're hungry. I was on a panel not too long ago with WTOP, 270 News, and CNN. And what that and what we were talking about was just how at different levels of the news spectrum, the media spectrum, there's certain factors that you have to break. You can't just always just pitch and get in. So you start where you can reach. Simple. Day zero. You contact your local papers. You contact your local journalists, your local stations, and there's tons in every city around the globe. So I say start at zero. That's where you go.
No, I love it. And stemming off of that too, I talk about this all the time with my business partner, with our team, with people that we really just interact with and share business nuggets, right? How, I hate to use the term easy, but how simple it is to infiltrate your local market and showcase your talents. Within a matter of weeks, months, you could be the most well-known expert in your niche, in your local market. It's incredible how many people don't do it.
I'm going to give you a little food for thought on that. When you consider Google making the big change to give priority to websites that are all SSL certified, that consistently knocked down tons of websites. They automatically started to give a push to any of those sites that have the nice little lock on it. And doing that, it automatically gave all these news outlets, small and large, a big bump, because now all of their stuff is considered authority. So you tap into what's already there. You already jump like tons of sites that you can rank. Like I rank for my name so hardcore because of the outlets that I've been on. Anyone can do it, and it's just something that's just not really, discussed at good length.
Agreed. It's definitely one of the more important things to understand how simple it could be to infiltrate a local market. So I love that. From your 10 plus years as an educator and coach, what's the most common element or theme that holds people back from hitting six figures consistently in their business, do you think?
Asking for the sale. I think it comes down to really asking for the sale. Like one of the things I love about today is automation. I think that systems help to take you out of the position to ask for something that you may or may not feel you deserve. And for the many people that we've worked with up to this point, I think that's always been the trigger. It's like you have a belief system that you can do it, but the belief system that you should do it is where a lot of people get stuck. I love computers being able to do sales for me rather than me doing it, because trust me, even though you can see me talk, I just mostly just have conversations. And asking for the sale is one of those things where you have to be so committed to who you are, what you do, and who you serve, that you're not asking for a sale, you're making a recommendation. And that's the shift that has to happen. I think that's the tripping point for a lot of people is anyone can produce content, anyone can put up a sales page, anyone can do a webinar, but the truth of the matter is it's about the numbers, it's about the sales. So getting past asking is probably the one thing over all the years that I've been online that I've seen people have to struggle with.
Wow. Asking for the sale. And what comes before that? Is it providing value? Is it having a conversation? Is it building relationships? Is it all of the above? What do you think is?
All of the above and then some. When I got started in 2012, the barrier mostly was audience. And places like Warrior Forum pretty much put me on the map. It gave me the standing to say, okay, well, there's people who are definitely hungry for what you have. So there's no shortage of people that's willing to buy. It's just a matter of access. Then the next level became trust factors. It became the social proof. It became what you can show to validate what you do and the value that you provide. Then it became the value propositions, because now you have many people who are all competing in the same space. Everyone can sell a widget, but now now you're having to deal with the whole thing of commodities. So I think that it just kind of got to levels up to the point where now, since high ticket is like the big thing that people are talking about, it's gone back to audience and value. I think competing on value is probably where we are today, because anyone can put up $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 offer. But what's going to be that differentiation between offer A and offer B? And that takes us back to value.
Love that, man. So much amazing insight there. It's incredible. What do you see being the number one most important aspect of business growth and success in the next 2 years?
I love that question. It's going to come down to content. Who was it? Bill Gates that said content is king. Right now we're in this point where, because of the advent of having, having a studio in your pocket, and streaming, and even platforms like this, the sales cycle has increased, because now there's just so much content out there that you're trying to build trust. And the first thing is you got to steal attention, and then you got to build it over time. So I think right now it's content. Like we're at this point where Facebook is investing in content. Just recently they released Facebook Gaming. They're trying to compete against Mixer and Twitch. You know, they see a value in it. Corporations are doing branded podcasts now. So they are starting to jump on it, and now they're going to become our competition. It's right now, the next 2 years, it's all going to be content driven. If Roku saw an opportunity to make Roku TV and have everybody produce a show, people are seeing that content right now is the way that people are really moving. They're absorbing ferociously. So next 2 years, I could see that not overtaking paid media, but definitely being just as fierce.
So paid media in general, and then content. And
more or less.
And I love the beginning of the interview. You were saying none of this stuff is new. Like for as long as we can remember those two things, as long as you're seen, right? Like visibility and credibility equals profitability. One of our favorite little acronyms there. As long as you have those things, you're going to win, whether that's locally or globally, whichever realm you're trying to infiltrate. But it's amazing that question still remains the same and accurate so far into the future.
Yep. I totally agree. And if I were to add something to it, the whole thing of just being seen consistently gives prospects, customers, clients so much opportunity to get to know you as a person, because we've kind of gone back to being human, even though we're still digital. And when we're consistently showing up, even though we may not have a face-to-face, or in our case, screen-to-screen or camera-to-camera, there's still human elements to communication that has to be explored and demonstrated. And so we just go back to being in caves again. We're huddling up and we're having conversations.
Love it. Love it. So simple. It's so simple, so easy. Makes me laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. I got some rapid fire questions for you. We got some insightful ones and some fun ones.
All right, let's do it.
All right. First one is, what is one non-negotiable habit you implement every single day?
Talking with someone I care about.
What is one book you wish everyone in the world would read?
When, by Daniel Pink. Get it.
Love it. Love it.
Can I do a second book?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Never Lose a Customer Again. 2 great books.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Next one. On what day do you, on what do you like to spend your time and money outside of business?
Flying drones.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of cereal?
Honey Nut Cheerios. And that's changed over time.
All right.
Older.
You're stranded on an island. Who are 2 celebrities you would want to be stranded with?
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is okay. Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Nipsey Hussle. And when you define celebrity, can it be a celebrity that someone may not even know?
Absolutely. Anything you want.
My grandmother.
Oh, love it. She's a celebrity in your own life, man.
She is.
That counts. Yeah. Tim, Tim, thank you so much for the interview. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that you had something awesome to give away. It was some media outreach templates. Where
Yes.
can people find you, find those, and possibly connect with you?
So let's get the connection stuff out the way. Facebook.com/Swift Kick Show. Pretty much you can reach me. You can reach all the content that we do. Everything that is the Swift Kick Show is right there. If you want to actually go to the website, www.swiftkickshow.com. And yeah, you don't need to worry about going to the radio station. Just subscribe anywhere you listen to iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, Swift Kick Show. But what I have for all of you guys is actual media templates that we broke down from actual emails we received. So when you're ready to contact media, you can just use those. www.massivemediamethod.com. And totally free, just our way of saying thank you and starting a relationship. So massivemediamethod.com to get those templates. And yeah, I'll see you on the flip side of Swift.
Amazing, man. That is Timothy D. Craggette, everyone. I will put all of those links in the show notes. You'll be able to access all that stuff, connect with Tim, and say what's up. Again, thank you so much for the interview, man. Glad to have you on here.
Cam, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, everyone.